this beautiful girl comes in like, bakit ang pangit ng boyfriend niya? Bakit mukha siyang kulugo? Ikaw, pogi ka naman. Alam mo yun? Alam mo anong difference nyo? That guy, he had the balls to take a risk. And you just stayed and talked.
Ever wondered what does it take to be a real man? Welcome to the Singles Podcast by Singles Events Manila, hosted by your resident matchmaker and researcher, Vanessa A. In today's episode, we will be answering some of your most pressing questions about the male species and share with you some tips and best practices on how single men can be successful in their love and their career. Joining us today is a very special guest. He is a best-selling author, a motivational speaker, and an entrepreneur, someone who people calls an overcomer. May I introduce to you Brother JPaul Hernandez.
Hi, Vanessa. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy that because a lot of singles are now doing Netflix and chill, they can receive this content and really learn how to find real love.
We're very pleased. So, Brother JPaul, before we ask you, what are the traits and qualities of a real man, I just have this particular question posted by one of our followers in Singles Events Manila. So, this is a question by Natalie Bacosa. And so, she wanted to know, Brother JPaul, why do some men ghost women after a date or two?
All right. Hi, Natalie. And I try my best to be kind, but this might hurt. This message might sting. All right. So some men date not because you're the one. Because when you think like that, you're asking men to think like you. So men, we are boxy people. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we see things differently compared to women. So when we date, we're experimenting. We're trying it out. So for example, when I want to eat, I want to find the best chicken wings. I will try Buffalo Wild Wings. I will try Wingstop. I will try the neighborhood wings there. And I will eat there more than once and then just, bring my friends. And then, okay, when I find my favorite chicken wing space, that's where I'll eat every single time. So I'm sorry if I compared you to that, pero I'm just saying that that's how men think. And the problem is women get too excited too fast. So I'm not saying to be flirting every single guy, but when you go out, when you text, when you're being available to a guy, who is interested, guard your heart so that you won't fall into the trap of ghosting, galit ka sa guy, and then you'll be mad at yourself and all of those things. So when you go out, just be interested, be available, let him pay for your food and all of those things. And then, when he pursues, let him catch you, let him pursue you. Pahirapan mo siya. Kasi ikaw yung prize eh. Kesa yung binabato mo yung sarili mo sa kanyang ganyan. So, I suggest, men are not all douchey. Not some. There are.
Mhm.
But there are just people na, oh, okay ka. Tapos second date, third date, or parang 10 days, 20 days na kayo magkausap, biglang nawala. It's not you. It's them. They're not interested. They're just finding someone else. So, siguro ito na lang. Isipin mo na lang that there's another girl who found the right guy because you stopped
Communicate.
connecting. Yeah. So, yun. And then you'll find yours too in time.
Oh, wow, Brother JPaul. That advice is masakit, at the same time comforting. So basically, like, the message that I'm getting here is if somebody ghosted you, it's just plain and simple. They're not interested. It reminded me of like some of our discussion in the past episodes where we talked about, when you go on a date, you approach dating with a friendly mindset. Hindi yung parang
Yes.
love relationship mindset.
Yes.
Because if that person ghosted you, then it's gonna be a lot of heartache.
Yes. Yes.
Compared to like when you just go out, this is just a date, get to know each other.
Yes.
You tend to be like less hurt, and as you have mentioned, Brother JPaul, you're able to protect your heart. Very.
Yes.
I just want to ask you, brother, and I totally agree with this, but I know that some people will be like, I could pay for my own food. Why would I even like allow him to pay for a date? So, Brother
Yeah, yeah.
JPaul, do you mind like expounding on that? Why should women allow men to pay if they want to?
All right. So because of the feminist movement, women have really leveled up in life. I mean, like respect, equality is getting there. It's a different topic. Let's not talk about all of those things. But women are doing things like their moms and wives and entrepreneurs. You juggle so much. Guys don't really have more things to do. So parang, okay, so it's one way to see, hey, is this guy responsible? Can he even pay for it? Like, can he share the burden with me and all of those things? And ladies, you're already doing so much. Be treated once in a while, especially in life. Let this guy treat you like a princess. So, my mom is a strong mom, successful woman, and she raised me. And so I'm not afraid of a successful woman. But at the end of the day, each lady still needs to be treated like a princess. Babae ka pa din eh. You just have more on your plate.
Oh, that's really wonderful to hear coming from a man who values women, who values what they do. Because like usually, since like a lot of us women has joined the workforce more than ever before, we feel like I should show the world how strong I am, how capable I am, because men like strong independent women, that sometimes we forget giving men a chance to be like a gentleman,
Yes.
which is really counterproductive, because historically, and say talking about the evolution, like men are sent to like hunt, and so they want to do the work. I'm not sure if a lot of people will agree, but this is actually some of the things that we find true to many singles.
That's still how it should be, in a sense, because it's how we evolve as a human race, and not just because ito yung rules. No, let's not talk about that. But this is how human behavior has been, and sometimes the problem is nagkaroon ng misogyny. Women were underrated, so it's a whole different issue. But at the end of the day, men are hunters, and men should hunt for you.
Wonderful. Men are hunters, and women are the nurturers, ika nga,
Yeah.
according to the evolutionary theory that we have learned. So, one of your authored books, you've written a young man's manual to a successful life, where you presented men with tools on how to become a real or better man. So my question right now, Brother JPaul, is, in your experience, what does it really take to be a real man?
Wow, thank you. Thank you for reading my book. It's really manhood. It's not what movies say it is. It's not about having many girls. It's not about the fancy cars or the gambling, all of those things. It's not that thing. Who are the men we look up to? Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Rizal, Bonifacio. In just history, these are men who made sacrifices. These are men who died for something that is bigger than themselves. And and that's what it is for to be a real man. Of course, you don't need to be like a war hero to be a man. You just need to learn how to give, to sacrifice, to fight for something that you believe in. A lot of men, we are ingrained with this. We have a fight mode, and When it is not touch, we fight with our spouse, we fight with, we fight about the petty things. But when you're fighting for something really bigger than you can swallow your ego because you're fighting for something that is worth the time and effort. That's why you see a lot of men who, go haywire when they hit mid-age. Pagka nag-40s, 50s, a lot of men go crazy. They buy a sports car, they cheat, all of those things because they come to realize, teka, what did I do with my life? And men, this is just my interpretation. So let's go to the female body. The female body has an organ that is for pleasure, diba? The clitoris, all of those things. It's really for pleasure. Men don't. We're utilitarian, we're functional, we're made to fight. So, ang pinaka-problema kasi ng lalaki, tinamad na tayo sa buhay because everything's given to us. You're a man, you have a higher salary than a woman. You're a man, you get this. You're a man, mas pagkakatiwalaan ka sa opisina. So, everything is given to you in a platter. I'm not putting down men, but a lot of men that I have met are just so lost. Alam mo, sorry Alvin, this Tagalog, pare, hindi macho maging lasing of every time. Ano yung macho? Yung may pinaglalaban ka sa buhay, may business kang binubuo, may tinutulungan kang tao, you're saving lives. Yun yung macho. That's why we love looking at Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, not because they're just rich, because they changed the world. And men are made to do crazy things and do amazing things that will benefit others. So it's not about gathering 5 girls or you have a side chick or oh, I can buy a Rolex. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the Rolex, but it's just an outcome because you want a nice watch. It's not the achievement. Hindi yun yung Rolex yung achievement eh. You're able to do things that are amazing. Oh yeah, and by the way, I can buy these things. Yun yung what makes a real man. Sacrifice, fighting for someone, and the ability to give yourself to others.
Very nice, brother. Now I'd like also to go to your second book. You've authored another book, which is How Underdogs Become Overcomers, where you taught your readers formula to be successful leaders, kumbaga from underachievers to leaders. So our question would be, what do you think are the qualities men should develop to be successful? And what is also the importance of, especially for single men who are watching right now, no? What is the importance of establishing a career while you're still single?
I grew up in an all-boys school, and a lot of, even in college, working, a lot of men, parang men like to gang together, di ba? Magkwentuhan, usapang lalaki. And then, you know what, pare, lakas ko yan. Angas, when we're together. And then this beautiful girl comes in like, hey, parang, biglang tameme, biglang torpe, or whatever. And then you see, I'm sure guys have said this, bakit ang pangit ng boyfriend niya? Bakit mukha siyang kulugo? Alam mo yung ganun? Tapos, ikaw, pogi ka naman. Alam mo yun, wala kang pimple or everything. Alam mo anong difference nyo? That guy na in your head was ugly, maybe not as rich as you or whatever, he had the balls to take a risk. And you just stayed and talked. So, guys, this is what I believe in for men. It's okay if you're not handsome. But if you work hard, you hustle, masipag ka, matyaga ka, may pangarap ka, ay pogi ka din sa mata ng babae. Gumagwapo ka sa eyes ng girls if you are fighting for something. So, number one really is I think you have to have audacity to dream, to take risks. And maybe you're telling me, kasi I did not come from a rich family, I did not come from this back, I didn't study in a good school, or all of those things. I want to tell you this man to man because, Vanessa, women have a natural way of adulting. Men don't. Have you noticed in history? I read it in anthropology because when writing my first book, men don't have that. And you noticed men need ceremonies, bar mitzvahs, circumcision, all of those things. Men always needs a rite of passage. And the problem why a lot of men don't take risks and all of those things is because they didn't have a rite of passage from their father. So may dad issue na hindi sila pinayagan ng tatay nilang mangarap and all of those things. But, I'm not your father, but I'm a man. So if you're watching this, I'm a man. I'm telling you this, my dear brother. You don't need someone's permission to succeed. You have what it takes. You're incredible. Just take a risk, even if you fail. Just keep moving forward, and then you'll get there. All the work, all the hustle, all the sacrifice, all the pain will be worth it. So even if you don't have a dad, look for a mentor, look for a father figure, a successful person in that aspect to help you. And if all goes haywire, you can always look to God. God is a father, God is a parent, and God will just, make you the man that you were made to be. So don't be intimidated with beautiful women, successful women, because both of you are equal. It doesn't matter how much you guys earn. You're equal in your worth as a human being. We're not human doing. Our worth and value as a person comes from our existence, not with our resume, not with our bank account. So start thinking that way and start taking risks.
Okay, so we've underlined the importance of taking risk in order to be successful either in love or career. But it's very refreshing to know that all they need is to develop some sort of courage to really like go for who they want or what they want, regardless of their bank account, of how they look, and these like worldly things that they believe stops them from achieving what they really want. It's wonderful, brother, that you called a while ago. You called the women princesses, and then now you're saying that the men are women. You guys are equal. So if like we treat women as queen, that makes men king also.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes,
So it'll be very, very nice to also see them do like kingly like actions, like being
yes,
courageous, having the
yes,
balls to probably like explore a business, pursue their career, start something they've been wanting. So that's really nice.
yes.
Princess and queen and kings. I mean, we're just all equal, so we should all have the courage to go for the woman we want and the career that we dream of. Wonderful. Thank you, Brother JPaul.
My pleasure. Whew, I'm enjoying so much.
That's
I
very
love
nice.
talking about these things.
And we're happy that you're enjoying because we're picking your brain some more as we have like a few more questions
Sure, sure. Please
um,
just ask away.
about your other book, which is you've written so much practical books that we are so excited to hear from you on how like single men, particularly since this will be like a men's episode, how they can use it in their life and how they can prepare themselves before like they meet their one true love, hopefully. So in your book, How to Overcome Financial Success, you've also taught your readers how to make more money to be debt free. Okay, so brother, how do you think being debt free helps singles in their future relationship?
Whew. Oh, wow. I wanted to say three things at the same time. Yeah, I mean, money is so important because men are made to work. So yeah, men are made to work. So money is very, very important to us. Just the ability to create wealth. So I repeat, it doesn't matter if you wag yung problemahin as a couple yung sino mas malaki kita. It's not it. It's men have the ability to create wealth. And if you're a good man, I believe that the world, the universe, God will just bless you and just create more career or more wealth or more success for you. So having a monthly payment, which like a debt, a liability, stresses us out, sucks out our ability to take a risk. Kasi nga, baka na may babayaran ako and all of those things. So when you are able to pay your debt and I learned this from Mo Sanchez, my mentor. So I asked him one time, I think we were in the Middle East, we were going to give a talk. So he does his pilgrimage to the Holy Land once a year. So we were going to do our talk in the Middle East, and then I go back to Manila, and then he goes to the pilgrimage. So people pay 150,000 pesos or $3,000 for the pilgrimage, all right? And he has about 130 pilgrims. So compute it. So it's a
Yeah,
lot of money.
a lot of money.
So I asked him, "What do you do with it? You have money already." And then this is what really floored me. You know what he said? "Oh, I donated." So that money is already accounted for the foundation that we have. So I work hard for that foundation. Like I was like falling. I was just starting my career. So like, okay. So and he taught me. And I mean, what gave you the balls to do all of these things? So kasi if you see Bo, he's so thin. He's not muscular. So but he has, he's like a man's man. He's like our alpha. And he told me because I was able to fix my financial foundation, he had more courage to just take on stupid risks or just do different risks in life because if he dies, he has investments, insurance, all of those things to protect his family. And I tried it out. It really does help you. It gives you the audacity to take risks. Having your investments to grow your wealth, being able to pay your debt slowly, it gives you more space to play and do things you love, and just have a happier life. Have a happier life. Have more joy. So I guess that's my answer.
Right. So it's like saying that you have to polish your financial like foundation in order for you to have like a little extra to be able to explore new things and go for like the things that you want that might be risky, and you won't be able to do it if you don't have like a little extra to use for exploration or for like expansion of your business or exploring like things that you think will make you happy.
Yes, yes, yes.
But rather, JPaul, we're wondering, like, in a more practical and more specific sense, like, what are we really asking single men to do when it comes to their finances? Are you asking them to have an 8 to 5 job and like find another hustle right after work? Are you asking them that besides their 8 to 5 job, they should also be taking like projects if they are skilled on weekends to earn a few more moolah?
Yeah. Whew. Exciting. I love this topic. So, as I love starting with stories. I hope that's okay. Medyo mas mahaba lang. You see, during this quarantine, my everyone's income, because of the COVID-19, everyone's income has been affected. So, but I was so happy because I think the past few weeks I was receiving dividends from my investments. I received good income. I mean, of course, it's not going to pay the bills, but I received income from PLDT and DMCI and I think BDO during just the 2 months we were in quarantine. And I was like, yeah, you just imagine like all my active income is kind of stopped
Yeah.
except the logistics because it's essential business. But you have that thing that's churning money for you even when you're sleeping, even in the pandemic, because everyone's using PLDT internet and all of those things. I have money coming in because of, quarterly dividends. So it lessens my stress. A less stressed husband is a happier wife. Like if my wife sees me stressing about money, she's gonna stress about money and all it's gonna go haywire. So yeah, I mean that's the blessing of having cash. So I'm just gonna share, not to brag, but it's really just a lot of balls and a lot of hard work. So how do I earn? I earn from my income. I give talks. I have income from the logistics business. So yung kita doon. I have income from books. I have investment income. Um, and just so some extra cash that comes in every now and then, allowances, all of those things. So these are great things that diversifies me. Na parang pag may problema sa mundo, okay, I can still sleep soundly because I know the problem will end and I can just generate wealth. We're so excited because this crisis creates opportunity because home deliveries are more and more. So now we're figuring out how can we support small businesses because we're serving big clients like big brands doing deliveries for them. So how do we support the small players who's delivering groceries, all of those things? So we're really rushing all of those things because after this COVID-19, everyone's now open to online banking in the Philippines. Everyone's open to home deliveries and all of those things. So we just want to be part of the game. If we fail, charged experience. It's tuition fee in life. All right? So if we grow, edi okay, may mabibili akong bag for my wife. So, but yeah, it's just really, guys, this is my favorite thing. If you want to start a business or side hustle or whatever it is, if you fail, failure is an event. All right, it's not who you are. And just say this with you say this to yourself. Ah man, nawala na ako ng 5,000 with my risk and ganyan. Hindi yan wala. It's tuition fee. It's tuition fee in life. You're just paying real life tuition fee. So yeah, guys, just really because at the end of the day, Filipinos are still in that habit of taking care of family. So if you have more income, you'd rather be the one giving than the one asking. So
Yeah.
that's why I encourage you to make money, not just because of um, um, wala lang, but because of your dreams, and we want to take care of family members na hindi kayo maghihirap. And then, why do we want to create more? Because we want to create, we want to stop that cycle of asking money. So, kung yung parents mo humingi ng money from you, okay, we love them, give. But stop it there. Have something in your future para yung anak mo, hindi ka nahihingi sa kanya. You have already money set aside, creating wealth for you, but your child will be set to dream. Like yung bata pa lang siya, nangangarap na siya and all of those things. So, yeah, I mean, dude, honestly, sorry this might sound machismo, pero pagka nagtitake ka ng risk, kumikita ka ng pera, ang sarap, feel na feel mo yung pagkalalaki mo. Parang, yeah! Talagang may macho feeling eh. It's like, dude, Vanessa, I'm sorry this is very traditional, but I do go to the gym. So when when I hit a personal record in my deadlift, in my clean, in my snatch, like, bulagsak mo yung barbell, parang, gano'n talagang you feel so macho. It's the same feeling when I create wealth. When I may nag-succeed sa business, parang it's that same, you feel alive. And that's why you create wealth. Not to feel cool or to be better than others, but because you like that feeling of being alive. That I'm, yeah, it's, I guess men, when you watch this, you'll understand. And women, I hope you understand, men don't grow up. We'll always be boys. We're always gonna be like that kid that's looking for like that feeling, and that's who we are as men. So men, you wanna feel alive. Start that taking risks, doing that business, that more income, all of those things.
That is so exciting, brother JPaul. So I guess the 2 points that we're getting from here is like, first, it's very wise to prepare yourself beforehand in a way that
Yes.
tulad ng nangyayari sa'yo, brother JPaul, like this is actually a world crisis. But then, since you are prepared, you were able to plant your seed even before the pandemic happened. You are reaping some of the benefits that you have planted before. Even
Yes.
now that most of your stream ng income is in a passive situation. So I like that, being able to explore investments, just preparing yourself for the worst and making sure that you have different streams of income, so you don't depend on one. Because, like, for example, especially for singles out there who is working, that needs to be like in the office and are not allowed to work from home. It's really really tough right now because no work means no income. But
Yeah.
you are wise enough and courageous enough to explore other streams of income. Hindi ka agad-agad mapipilay, like you have like zero income during crisis. So
Can I share a little bit practical tips? Is that
sure,
okay?
sure.
So this is when guys and girls, when you get married or when you grow, ito yung my suggestion if you become successful in finding someone and you prepare. So my wife and I know our income, know my income. We don't have any nakatagong accounts. So it's a married issue. So we have joint accounts. Um, there's just one account that I haven't closed because ang layo. Old account ko siya, tinatamad akong puntahan. So may old ba nakalagay. But yeah, so this is how we manage our finances. So my wife, because as we said earlier, di ba, women have a nurturing natural gift. So my wife is in charge of our budget, our money management. Okay? So how much do we put in the grocery and all of those things? How do we spend the cash allotted for the wedding? So for example, sige, 30K lang tayo for the wedding dress. Yung mga ganun. Siya na yan. Women are masters at that. Pero kasi pag walang budget, nagpapanik yung babae. Pag walang magaling ang babae mag-budget. Pero pag wala iba-budget, nako, bad trip siya. So let the wife or the woman manage the expenses.
But also make sure that they have something to manage.
Yes. So I am in charge as a husband of creating the wealth, creating all of those things. So yeah, like even the generosity part. Hey, I just asked for her permission. Hey, can I give cash to this person because of it? So shut it. So we have to do things, everything about money together. So kunyari, like even for your in-laws, all of these things, kailangan yung pag-usapan. So I am, as a guy, as a hunter, di ba? I look for ways to earn money. So, I decided, okay, we're gonna put our investment in this. Okay, this is gonna be our account for our son. So when my son was born, 6 months, we already created a fund for him. So we just extra cash, or instead of having a party, lahat ng gift sa amin, pinasok namin sa fund. So imagine mo, if we just keep it growing, when he's 15 years old, he's gonna have cash. So nainggit nga ako sa anak ko because I didn't have that. So yeah, always men were in charge of creating the money, and or just if both of you are earning really well, okay, find ways to make that money work for you, and the wife is in charge of, okay, ano bang bibilihin natin? Irish Spring o Safeguard. So yung mga ganon. So why? Because for problems like this, like when you're married, when you're in a house, instead of worrying about where you get the money, you can focus on making love. So, man, I think you like that, di ba? So instead of, wala tayong pera, wala tayong ganito, ganyan. If you have prepared something, when you're locked in, okay. So, so also, for example, because of that mindset, we're able to plan our vacations. So, meron kaming tipid vacation na sobrang kuripot, and then, hey, babe, we have every now and then, once a year, out of the country, where we can, have a few luxuries, like, eat in a nice restaurant. Hey, babe, bring your nice dress. Let's eat in ganyan. I want to treat you like a princess. So you're looking forward to something. Men, women like anticipation. Women like creating stories in their heads instead of putting it in bad things. So create anticipation in their heads, like the romance. Hey, you know what? In 6 months, I'm gonna bring you to this place. We're gonna eat this. I'm gonna buy you something. I'm gonna buy you a flower. Hindi naman kailangan. Sa women kasi, ladies, hindi kailangan yung Gucci bag, hindi kailangan yung Hermes, hindi kailangan yung 10 carat diamond or 2 carats, 10 kalbigat na. It's that gesture of giving and creating. I worked hard for this. So ang babae hindi lahat gold digger, okay? So but women love that when they see that ring that you bought for them. What do they see? yung binili niya tong earrings or ring, he worked hard for this because he loves me, and this is, I cherish this not because it's the most expensive ring, because he picked this out just for me, he knows me. So that story is you're put in a positive note. So pag may kasalanan ka, pakita mo lang yung binigay mo sa kanya, and she'll be really, really, really happy. So it's not about that brand. It's not about, ooh, I'm cool, I have a Lambo. No, it's not that. It's that gesture of having a better life together. So that's a very practical tip for, men, especially when you go find that someone, you go to marriage. I think you'll really appreciate that.
I believe, Brother JP, that that's very important to talk about finances. No, this is not to put pressure to men na dapat ikaw lahat. No, it's just the reality that when you are also capable of providing for your woman or your family, you also gain this confidence, yung swagger, yung and confidence is really sexy. It'll make you really attractive to the opposite gender, not because you have money, but because you have your self-worth na I've done my part, I've worked hard, I took risk, and I'm, kumbaga, hindi ako yung someone na tambay lang, na parang hindi hirap sa buhay.
Yeah, I agree.
Men who are hard workers are very, very attractive because they are like also confident. Like the way they speak, merong integrity. Kasi alam mong may pinagdaanan.
Yes.
All right, wonderful, Brother JPaul. You've also mentioned like how we are during quarantine, and one of the observations that we've made is, since singles are on home quarantine, a lot of them are exploring virtual options, which is, sabihin na natin, dating apps. So, Brother JPaul, we wanted to hear your thoughts on dating online. Like, do you think dating online is reliable? Or yes or no? And then how can singles make use of the technology in, improving their relationships?
All right. Whew. I'm sure whatever I say may magagalit.
Well, that's how we're putting out there the truth and the experience that we have. So they either learn from it or they brush it off. It's really up to them. But go ahead, Brother JPaul. We want to hear about your experience. So feel free to share.
Okay. So of course, because I'm married, I'm not using it now. So just kidding. How do I say this? I actually created a video about this last week or 2 weeks ago in my page. The title is, Can You Find Real Love Online? And this happened because a lot of my friends and a lot of people online asked me, uy, nagbumble ako. Bakit? Kasi lumandi ako habang quarantine. Quaranlandi? Parang ganyan yung term. So parang, okay, I had to Google, okay. Quaranlandi. But I think it's like that. So something like that. Landi in? Or anyway, alam naman people. So so okay. I've met people who have failed relationships or experiences in online dating, but I've also met people na successful yung online relationship. I mean, yung relationship that started online. And I know one na just really, I have a friend, they have a great marriage right now. Back when Facebook was new, naganda siya sa girl. So, minessage niya. Tapos, and then they're happily married right now. Very great family. So, number one, I'm not gonna judge you, whatever online dating tool that you use. But what is important to me is the women should still be pursued. So, diba sa Bumble, ito yung pinaka-use of, for example, Bumble. Bumble kasi the women have to message. Bakit nila kailangan magparamdam una? Because most men in Tinder are just looking for hookups, not long-term relationships. So, it safeguards the women in Bumble. So, sige, men, hindi porket nagparamdam yung babae sa Bumble, she's easy. Okay? So, men, still pursue. Pursue her. Ikaw ang umeffort, ikaw tumawag, ikaw mag-set, uy, pwede tayo mag-usap ng 9 p.m. or whatever, every day, ganyan. Pwede tayo mag-Skype. whatever online Zoom or Google Hangouts or dami kasing ways to talk. So men, make the effort. So kunyari, uy, tara, let's have a date. Gawa ka ng coffee, magko-coffee din ako. So online coffee, di ba? Nakakakilig. But that should start from the man. And then, like for example, uy, after this quarantine, maybe we can see each other. Maybe we can go out on a date, na legit date. Galing sa lalaki yun. So, ano ba, yung online dating, it just made communication easier. But it did not make finding love easier. It's a tool to connect. So, it's up to you how to connect. But in finding love online, ang importante is, are you stepping on your values? As a human being, ito pa rin ang pinaka-importante, ladies and men. You should know your values. Whatever it is, know your values, and then pursuing something in dating. Am I stepping on my values? Or is it my values? Kung okay lang siya, then go for it. So if it's you're adjusting your value just to find love, hindi worth it yan kahit si Brad Pitt pa yan. Okay? Because here's what I find with a lot of women that we work with in ministry. Even nga at work, minsan sa clients ko, nag-advise ako ng love. Hindi ko alam bakit. So, a lot of women, girls, ang ganda nyo. Pero ina-adjust mo yung sarili mo just to get a guy na not even worth it. Kung pwede lang kitang sampalin, sinampal na kita. Kaso abuse yun. Okay? But you deserve better.
Yeah.
Ladies, stop adjusting yourself. Maybe sabihin mo, JPaul, matanda na ako and all of those things. Ay, mas okay na mamatay ng single kaysa you're adjusting your values just to fit a guy. Hindi, a man should pursue you whether online or not. So for example, you're saying, hindi, long distance, seafarer siya or whatever. Gawa siya ng paraan. Seafarer, makuha naman yung shift niya 1 week or 2 weeks before. Ito yung shift niya for the next cutoff or next month. Ayusin niya. Send niya sa'yo, uy, ito yung aking available schedules. Usap tayo kahit 5 minutes. That's still making a way, right? It's still the guy pursuing the girl. So, always ganun. It's always you being pursued. So, never, ever, ever, ever trample, ladies, your values para lang magpakyut sa lalaki. Mas maraming lalaki dyan sa mundo. And, again, I repeat, hindi porket pogi siya, worth it siya. So, malay mo, may lalaki dyan na mas masipag, mas matyaga, mas loyal. Hindi nga lang pogi. Pero pumupogi dahil sa values niya. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong as long as you know your values.
So the message that we're getting here, Brother JPaul, is you are advising singles na it's okay to date online as long as you make it as a tool, kumbaga a stepping stone to connect in the real world. So yes. After being able to know someone, if you'd be lucky if dating online is for you, because it's not for everyone, it's very important for the man to be enterprising. The man should be taking the initiative. Can we do an activity? Can we meet after the home quarantine? Can I take you on a date? Or can I take you over dinner or coffee? So it's very important that men are showing this kind of initiative more than the women.
You're right, initiative. Yeah, men are initiators. Men are hunters. So I think that's the theme of our discussion. Men are hunters. You initiate and all of those things.
Right. And the message also that you're giving to women is allow them or give them a chance to be hunters. Do not bend your standards, your values in order to fit the person, because if this person, you think if that person is not pursuing you, you have someone out there who finds you desirable enough to pursue you, to do the work in order to get your heart. And for men, please do the initiative, especially if you really, really like the girl. Because one of the many things that when we conduct singles events through Singles Events Manila, we always tell them at the beginning of the event, men, try your best to be enterprising. Enterprising means being the one who do the initiative, like get the food for the women, be very helpful when it comes to the games, because these traits, it's often overlooked, but it makes you look so sexy to women if you're a person who knows how to initiate. Wonderful. And to women also, kumbaga, the more men are invested in you, the more they will value you.
Yes.
That's like my personal belief, but I think that this is very, very true in my experience and with the people that I've seen. Because if kumbaga konting kindat lang ng men bumigay ka na, paano siya mamomotivate to work harder for you?
Yes. Yes. Enjoy the chase.
Chase,
Enjoy
yeah.
the chase.
Enjoy the chase and trust that as long as you're not doing anything bad naman to the man, allow them to exercise their being hunters, and they are actually, they feel good about that. Anong paningin mo, Brother JPaul?
Yeah, it's really yeah. I think you said it best. It's really, yeah, let men, at the end of the day, ito lang yan eh. Girls, makanganak ka. You'll have 9 months of pregnancy, you'll have to do all of that. Lalaki wala. So, yun yung bawi mo.
You know,
Magpahabol ka.
and that brings us back to, why would you allow the man to pay for your date if he offered? Because also, in my perspective, imagine, Brother JPaul, when we go on a date, a lot of women, spend how many hours, or sabihin natin money, having their nails done, having their hairs fixed, buying makeup. We're not saying you pay for that, but what we're saying is, like, paying at least for the first date makes women feel appreciated, na, oh my gosh, he appreciated the time that I spent going out on it. Kumbaga, this is the least thing that you could do, single
Yeah.
men to women.
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
totally agree with that.
Men, advice. Yung no makeup look, sobrang hirap gawin nun. So women like to make you feel na hindi sila naghanda, pero it actually took them 3 hours to prepare and think about it. Nag-away pa yan, nag-shopping pa yan, and lalo na kunyari, that the woman feels not sexy at that day, on that day, nako, magwawala yan, just, ay, nako. So umeffort siya, umeffort ka naman din.
Ayun. So I think this is a message of, both parties putting in the effort. Hindi lang kasi ganun ka-visible yung ginagawa na effort ng mga babae. Because we want to look as if, we just winged it. Pero men, when you guys ask someone on a date and that woman likes you, oh my gosh, it takes like at least 24 hours to figure out what to wear, how to look good for you. So imagine the time and effort that the women does. And even without that, we both agree on the fact that women deserves to be respected and to be treated as princess, because by the end of the day, who's gonna carry your child for 9 months, who's gonna sacrifice sleepless nights, most nights more than the dad, it's really the woman. And just look at your mother, like the sacrifices that they did for you. I mean, you should be cringe kapag hindi ka courageous enough na ginost mo yung woman without an explanation.
Yes. Ay, nako.
Yeah. Thank you, Brother JPaul, for, emphasizing and giving us examples on how important yung initiative ng lalaki, because I think that's a very overlooked trait. Parang laging sinasabi na dapat you look good, dapat you have money, which is true also, but then if you have the initiative, kumbaga, you're a man with courage and with the balls, it would really help you in your dating life. Brother JPaul, we're gonna let you go, but we have this very important question that I have to ask you before we end this podcast. Why do you think? Because all throughout this discussion, we've been talking about like how to be a real man, how to improve being a man, how to step up in your career, make more money, so you also get the women's respect and you also feel good about yourself. So, Brother JPaul, why do you think single men should date more strong women?
Number one, the only weak woman is an insecure woman that is dependent, na yung talagang di niya alam yung self-worth niya and self-value. But this is I guess what is wrong with the society's perception of women. I love the Blessed Mary, the Blessed Virgin Mary. And women, people think that she's weak. But dude, she is not weak. Let me give you an example. She was born poor. Take out the spiritual side. Of course, I'm a Catholic. There's a spiritual side that I believe in. But take away the spiritual side, just how strong this woman was. So she was 14 years old, and because diba, they had in the story they had to move out, they had to go to Bethlehem for the registration. You know how far that is? That's about 180 kilometers.
Wow, we didn't know this.
That's 100 plus kilometers without a car, dirt road, pregnant. Okay, she was pregnant and no road. She was riding a donkey. And riding a donkey, hindi yan for 24 hours naka-donkey ka. May lakad, di ba? May times lakad ka, may times sa donkey ka. So, and where did she live? She was born in Israel, in the Middle East, and the temperature goes up to 50 degrees in summer with the full belly. All right? And then in the Bible, there was a time she also visited her cousin Elizabeth, and Elizabeth, because I've been in the Holy Land, and the house of Elizabeth, it was a summer house because she was married to a rich guy, so a rich priest, so they had many houses. So anyway, she lived in a mountain because it's a summer house, kailangan malamig. Mary was in her first trimester. And she went up that mountain. And she could have just said, "What? I'm the mother of God. So why will I serve you?" But no, she went out of her way to help. Why am I saying this? So I believe every woman is strong. So let's stop thinking that women are weak. All women have the capacity or actually born strong. What makes them weak? Bad fathers, broken families, a lot of issues, broken hearts. That's what damages a woman. But every woman is already born amazing, strong, and all of those things. So if she's worth more than gold, if she's so amazing, so strong, why would she settle for a weak guy? You actually have to make yourself strong enough to be worthy of her attention. So men, don't be intimidated by a strong girl. You actually like that. Kasi walang babaeng mahina. So what you want is to be worthy enough for her attention. That's why you become strong. And that's why I said that story just to make you understand that women are worth your effort, and being secure enough as a guy, your ego is secure enough to be with a strong girl. It's just gonna make your relationship and your future marriage just beautiful and worth all the sacrifice. Ito lang yun eh. So, mag-marry ng babaeng walang alam. Hindi, di ba? So, dude, lahat ng babae may alam yan. May magaling yan. So, just have to be worthy of her. So, I hope that answered your question.
Yes, it's you're coming from the perspective that women are naturally strong, and so in order to keep up with that, men has to develop themselves in order to be at par of a strong woman. So every woman, single man, remember that every woman that you meet is a strong woman, and you have to be able to work your ass in order to deserve their attention. Thank you very much, Brother JPaul. For those who wants to hear more of Brother JPaul's advice, you can visit his website. That's jpaulhernandez.com. And he is also on Facebook. You'd find amazing videos. A lot of them have trended online. Probably you've seen some of them already. So you could also check JPaul Hernandez on Facebook. And then another thing is, if you want to start your own business, change your career path, or have experience personal breakthrough, I believe Brother JPaul is also doing coaching services. And we've also mentioned the importance of having a mentor and coaching in life. So yeah, please do visit Brother JPaul Hernandez website and Facebook. And then Brother JPaul, tell us a little bit about your trucking business, especially right now. We need, the logistics with all the deliveries.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vanessa, for supporting everything we do. But yeah, if also we go visit our ministry, it's the Feast. Also, Feast Green Hills and Feast Ortigas Tuesday. I lead those small groups. So if those inspiration are free, we have a community for you. Church is a nice way to find love. So yeah, but yeah, our trucking is we're companies called Alpha Logistics. So we actually serve enterprises. We do deliveries for groceries, big brands, and all of those things. But this opportunity allowed us to see things. Like for example, I have a few friends who lost their jobs and they have cars. So like, how do we help? Because always my mindset is help. Just I'm not the best product developer. May mga taong ganun eh. Like I'm gonna create a best headphones. May mga ganun tao. But me, it's always in a service mindset. Just because Bob, that's my gift. I don't know. So yeah. So we were thinking, how can we help them? How can we earn? And how can we help new businesses? So we have now a new service. It's small vehicles like passenger cars, like similar to Amazon in the US. So we're actually tying up with different companies to like these small cars will deliver your goods. Kasi pag small car, naka-aircon, yung safe, all of those things. So delivers your groceries, if you're buying a cell phone or whatever. So whatever company that's tying up with us, we're gonna do that. And because our expertise is dealing with large companies, so we can actually do the dispatch planning for you, how to do para you can just focus on the sales and marketing. We'll figure out the deliveries for you. Kasi pag SME, yun yung mahirap, ang dami mo ng problema. Yeah.
Wonderful. So for sure we have singles who owns their business who will find this thing useful. So if they're interested, how should they contact you?
Just message me on my page. I'm online most of the time, so I'll respond to you in Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. So just message me anywhere. I'll connect. Our team will be there to help you, and we'll just want to help win-win situation.
It's amazing. Mutually beneficial transactions are always good. Having said that, thank you very much, Brother JPaul, for all of your tips and advice to single professionals. We hope to have you again. And single professionals, thank you for listening to the Singles Podcast hosted by your resident matchmaker and researcher. Have a fun life.
On the next episode of the Singles Podcast.
Some of my friends kasi said that my personality might not be a perfect match for a typical Filipino guy. So that's why they also suggested for me to explore other nationalities or cultures that might be more okay with a strong woman or something like that.
You know what, April? I don't know about that advice because I've heard exactly the same thing when I was single. They said that I should go to America and I will be married to like an American who could handle a strong woman. But eventually I've realized it's not about the race that I need to look for to be able to handle me as a woman. It's about me being able to tone down and give men a chance to be gentlemen. Being strong is such a good thing, but sometimes when it comes to dating, a lot of us, including myself, loves to show that, like show off, I'm strong, I could take care of myself, but then eventually I've learned that it's great to have that in you. You have to be self-secured, but you don't really put that in front of a man's face.